Hi, good morning. It's Wednesday, the 15th of July 2020. On last Wednesday's video, which I think was called £14 in 40 Days Part 2, right at the end of the video we announced a giveaway of an Instant Pot, a 6-quart Instant Pot. So what we're going to do at the start of this video is pick a winner for the Instant Pot. So I'll ask Joe to use the random comment selector and do just that.
Okay. Rachel Beresford.
And can you read us Rachel's comment?
I would love an Instant Pot so I can broaden my cooking and experiment with new recipes.
Brilliant, well done Rachel. So Rachel, if you can email me on janiac7@googlemail.com, we'll need an address for, that's wrong isn't it? We'll need an address for Amazon to send the Instant Pot to. You don't have to give your own address if you don't want to, it can be a friend or something like that. But give me an email and we'll sort that. So congratulations to Rachel, that's marvellous. Right, there'll be more giveaways in the future. Can't do one every week, but there will be more in the future. And if you're interested in purchasing one of those Instant Pots for yourself, because they really are useful. I mean, we've used ours already this morning, and I don't think it's much past 8 o'clock or something, but we've done calypso. Can you show those, Joe? I think, could you just put a few in a white bowl and show them? We've actually cooked some calypso beans this morning. We've never bought calypso beans before. They're a new bean for us, but they're really, really nice. And they're actually, Joe tells me, quite pretty. So using the Instant Pot for things like beans, steaming potatoes, because you can steam with it. This particular model that we're giving away is $84.99 on Amazon, but you'd find it quite easily if you're interested.
So these are the beans.
These are the beans. Joe says they look quite cute.
Yeah, let me try and get in focus. It's not wanting to put it in front of your head. Try it, there we go. Yeah, they're kind of like half and half, like maroon colour and creamy white.
Yeah, so I think they'd look really attractive on a salad. One of the things we do is we tend to use beans as a replacement for meat. So we cook, sometimes we'll cook a mixture of beans, but other times we'll just cook black beans or black-eyed peas, or we'll cook chickpeas. And that's kind of what we focus our meal around. Like, you know, in the days before, we would have focused our meal around a portion of meat or a portion of fish. So now it tends to get focused around a portion of beans or a tofu dish or something like that. But we are loving the Instant Pot for cooking beans, because for so long we were buying beans and complaining that they're mushy. You know, we liked one time to buy the organic cartons from Sainsbury's, but you'd open them sometimes and they would seem so mushy, and we like our beans not undercooked but not mushy. So yeah, the Instant Pot is brilliant for that, and I'm using it more and more. And okay, as a totally blind person, it isn't 100% accessible to me, but I can do most things with it, and Joe can like just set it going for me if I need him to. So for anybody who's visually impaired out there, don't be afraid to have one if you've got help and support. And for anybody who's not visually impaired, don't be afraid to have one, because your mother used to have a pressure cooker sitting on the cooker that hissed and blew and made a mess, because these aren't like that. You don't have the weights balanced on top, it's very different. I remember when I was a teenager and my parents had a pub, one day my dad in his wisdom decided to make a big batch of strawberry jam in my mum's pressure cooker, and he hadn't put the right weight on it and it blew, and we literally ran for cover because there was boiling strawberry jam raining down on our kitchen. I mean, it served him right, he had to redecorate the kitchen, he made such a mess, but it could have been very dangerous. And I don't think Instant Pots are dangerous like that. And I like the fact that you can steam in them, which is really nice. You just put in literally 1 cup of water and you could steam a couple of kilos of potatoes. So enough about that. Congratulations Rachel, well done. Right, just a couple of things I want to talk about today. One of them quite brief, but it's front loading or pre-loading. Now, I've been looking into this and what it means and how it would fit in with Slimming World, and I think it actually fits in very well if you want to fill yourself up with speed food before you eat your meal. So often when I'm watching videos, and I've done it myself loads of times, stick an apple on the side and say that's my speed. And you know, a few berries in a bowl on the side, that's my speed. A lettuce leaf and a slice of cucumber, that's my speed. Well, something that Michael Greger recommends is front loading. I like the expression. And what he says to do is think about your meal as a whole. I mean, he's not Slimming World, he's plant-based, but he says think about your meal as a whole, and then think, well, if I make a separate salad, like a bowl of salad, and treat it in effect like a starter. So before I have my main meal, I have my bowl of salad. Or you make like a speed vegetable soup, you could do it with the same thing. But what the plan to do is eat it about 10-15 minutes before your main course. So have a leisurely starter before your main course. And then the action of your body coming to a place where it's starting to feel that you're eating, it's starting to feel that you might be heading towards getting satisfied, and you've probably had less than 100 calories on that bowl of salad. And then that subsequently leads to you needing less food from your main plate. So you could have had a bowl of salad. One of the things he cites is like 2 cups of chopped celery, which is actually 16 calories. Celery and calories. Right, so 2 cups of chopped celery is actually about 16 calories. But if you eat that as a preloader or front loader before your meal, it takes 14 calories to burn it off. The actual act of eating the celery takes 14 calories to burn it off. But it also sends a message to your stomach that you've started a meal and you're starting to fill up, because you're filling up with low density, low calorie foods. So then when you get to actually eating your main course, the likelihood is you won't be able to finish it, or you'll have had it, you'll have had enough with a slightly smaller meal. And if you were planning a main course which was something like Slimming World burger, Slimming World chips and baked beans, you've got no speed there. But if you actually put a salad on the side of that, the likelihood is you leave that to the end. It's like, I want to enjoy the burger while it's hot. I want to enjoy the Slimming World chips while they're hot. Let me eat the baked beans while they're hot. The salad's cold, it can wait. So you tend to put the salad towards the end of the meal instead of using it to fill you up, which is the whole point of speed food. If you're going to bother with speed food, the whole point of it is it's the thing that you should eat first to fill you up. I think that's the intention that Slimming World have for labelling some fruits and veg speed food. Fill yourself up on the low calorie stuff, and then you'll eat less of the higher calorie dense stuff. So it's just an idea. If anybody would like to try it, I'd be interested to know what you think of it. So front loading with low calorie or speed food. He did it in an experiment with fruit and it worked, but not as well. So it is low calorie, speed, veg and salad that works best. Or make yourself a mug of a very, a speed soup. I see people make tomato soup and speedy vegetable soups. Have a mug of that 15 minutes before your main meal and notice the filling power of it. And that is what speed food's all about. Okay. A lot of people message me in the comments and by email and even by text, and they ask me, are you prepared to do what I eat in the day videos? And I've said to every one of them no, because A, it takes too much faffing around, taking pictures of meals, and I like my food hot. It takes too much faffing around, and it's too much to keep asking Joe, will you film this for me? Will you edit that for me? When he's got time, he'll do all of those things for me, but he's a busy person. So it takes too much time, and to be honest with you, they're not videos I choose to watch. So if I'm not interested in having them to watch, I don't think I'm that interested in having them on my channel, because that's not necessarily what I'm about. But what I will do, and what I'm really happy to do, is I've made a list and emailed it to Joe of everything we've eaten this week in the form that we bought it in. So I haven't made a list that says, oh, I made a vegetable and bean chilli and we ate it with millet, which is what I had for my lunch yesterday. I haven't written it like that. I've written down every vegetable, every fruit, even down to like a tin of peas. that we've actually bought. We shop on a Friday and a Tuesday, and this is literally the fruit, the veg, the grains, the beans, the milk, well, everything, the seeds, everything that we've eaten this week. So not all of these vegetables have we both eaten, but we both eat the same way now anyway. But we have, and the fruit, when I've put like golden kiwis, I've just put golden kiwis. In effect, we've had 3 packs of 4. It just says kiwis, we've had 3 packs of 4. It might say raspberries, we've had probably 4 punnets of raspberries, 3 punnets of blackberries, 2 punnets of strawberries, but I've just put the actual food item. I've not put down whether they're speed or free because most of you would automatically know those things anyway. If you don't know and you want to know, it's in your book. But I'm really trying not to focus on the difference now. For me, now I eat from the 4 sections, which are fruit, veg, grains and legumes, and they're all free foods or speed foods, some of them, whatever I'm eating. On the Slimming World plan, in my head it's just, I live on free food most of the time. The seeds on the list are where I would use some of my sins. Most seeds, and you'd have to check them for yourselves to protect your own weight losses, most seeds are 1.5 sins for half a tablespoon, not a tablespoon, half a tablespoon. The milk that I use at the moment, the hemp milk, I would sin because I'm 99.9% sure it's not a healthy extra, but it's an unsweetened hemp milk. If I have my unsweetened coconut milk, which is a cocoa one, that I have as a healthy extra because you can have 400 mils for 3 sins or 1 healthy extra. But I haven't had that this week, I've had hemp milk all week. So I'm going to ask Joe to read those lists. They sound a bit lengthy, but here he goes with the list. This is what we've eaten in the last 7 days.
Okay, sorry. Cauliflower, broccoli, Savoy cabbage, red cabbage, white cabbage, pak choy, spring greens, cavolo nero, leeks, diced swede and carrot, diced swede, organic carrots, mange 2, tender stem broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, new potatoes, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, red baking potatoes, aubergine, red pepper, orange pepper, yellow pepper, red onions, spring onions, beetroot, radishes, mustard and cress, 4 different mixed leaves bags, celery, oyster mushrooms, chestnut mushrooms, kale, chilies, jalapeno peppers, pickled cucumbers, sauerkraut, tin of garden peas, tin of petit pois, tin of organic chopped tomatoes. And then fruits, we've got organic Gala apples, Braben apples, Granny Smith apples, conference pears, organic pears, golden kiwis, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, king cherries, English cherries, apricots, Gallia melon, cantaloupe melon. Beans, we've got red kidney beans, chickpeas, black beans, black-eyed peas, calypso beans, cannellini beans, pinto beans, and also tofu. Then grains, we've got organic brown rice, organic buckwheat, organic millet, organic oats, and then the milk we drink is the unsweetened hemp milk.
And that's really nice milk. And thank you to Michelle for recommending millet, because the only experience I've had of millet over the years is when I had budgerigar and a cockatiel, and they used to both eat it. I've never even thought about eating it myself, and if you get the hold one, it's lovely. And we just soaked it overnight and then literally dropped it into boiling water for 10 minutes, drained it, and it was ready to go. Joe mixed mushrooms and spring onions and things with his, and I just had a pile of it with my vegetable and bean chilli yesterday.
Yeah, turn it down to about half heat.
Half heat and just let it simmer, like a fast simmer. So not so a heavy boil, just a fast simmer. So things like that. And as I say, this week we've ordered some oat groats to try, which is like where oats begin before they're steel cut or rolled. So I need to look into how to sim those. But everything we've eaten this week has been made from ingredients on those lists. And we really do just combine grains, seeds, beans, vegetables and fruits. And it fits perfectly within the Slimming World plan. And we're trying to not be a little bit more adventurous, but have our eyes open and look for different vegetables. I mean, this week we got the, I never can say it, Cavolo Nero. It's unusual for our Asda to have that. That's black cabbage. And we used to buy it all the time in Sainsbury's, didn't we?
Yeah.
And this week, you know, there's some really nice asparagus, and it's not expensive at the moment. It's nice to try something different. I mean, we've been trying all week to buy a papaya, but nobody's got any. But just to try something different. And Les said last week about leaving the skins on the kiwis, and now we're both doing that. And it's actually like, why haven't we always done this? Why did we used to faff around taking the skin off?
We found a good way of preparing them as well, haven't we?
Oh yeah, tell them, Joe, how you prepare a kiwi.
You just top and tail it, well, wash it, top and tail it, and then kind of cut into it in quarters, but not all the way through the core, so it still holds together, so it's almost like segments, and then just eat it like that.
Yeah, just bite off a segment. It works really well. So yeah, all in all, it's been a lovely week of food. And I am trying to get a bit more adventurous. I do want to try different grains. Because, you know, going to Slimming World, one of the things I'm aware of, we talk about eating a lot of pasta. Excuse me, most people eat pasta. It's not my thing, but I can understand why people enjoy it because it's quite a comfort food. But in group, we'll talk about eating pasta. We talk about a lot about white rice. A little about whole grain rice, brown rice. And we found brown basmati rice. We buy it online, but brown basmati rice is so delicious. Don't talk about things like that in group. Never heard anybody talk about eating millet in group. So when Shell suggested it, that's Bean Feast 57, when she suggested it, I thought, go on then, I'll give it a go. We've got some amaranth, I intend to give that a go. I've tried quinoa. It's okay, it would never be my favourite seed thing, but it's okay. Buckwheat, things like that. These are free foods on Slimming World that we don't talk about. And it's just so boring to stick to pasta, Slimming World chips and white rice. When you've been around Slimming World for over 5 years, you think, oh, come on, give me a break. I don't want pasta, I don't want Slimming World chips, I'm sick of white rice. But you've got to go look for something else. And one of the things we've been really conscious of this week, because Joe was cooking a chilli thing the other night. He steams vegetables and then he makes it a really hot chili tomato sauce to put over the top of his veg, don't you?
Yeah.
And tops it with jalapenos and things. So he was doing that the other night, and I'm standing in the kitchen and I went, I am so glad we've moved beyond putting bloody tin tomatoes in everything. Because when I first went to Slimming World, it was pass me a tin of chopped tomatoes, pass me a carton of passata. So much so that I got so tired of it because every dish tasted of tomatoes. And I made a really, really nice bean and vegetable chilli, 7 vegetable, 5 bean chilli yesterday. No tin tomatoes. You don't have to use tin tomatoes in everything. So if I'm making a dish that doesn't lend itself towards tomatoes, I'm starting to look for alternatives. Yesterday I used organic stock cubes, but I used less water. And then I put in, we had some milled linseed, which just finishes it off and gives it a lovely texture. So I really want to encourage people to look beyond white pasta, white rice and Slimming World chips. Be a bit more adventurous what you make your chips out of. You know, there's other veg out there, celeriac, swede, butternut squash. There's other things to make your chips out of. And there's other things in this world besides chopped tomatoes and passata. Because it's the variety. If we want to do this for the rest of our lives and eat in a way that will keep us slim, we can't be too limiting, otherwise we'll get bored. So that's all I've got for today. We need to go out now and it's raining. Isn't it a joy? July and it's cold and we've had our heating on this morning. It's cold and it's wet, but hey ho, it's life, isn't it? So we're back on Saturday with a weighing update. Take care everybody and well done Rachel, congratulations.